welcome back to the Starlink Observatory for Scuffed Tuesday, apparently. Hi, we're back for I'm really happy that we're back for the Star Slug Manga Club to talk about the first half of the Water 7 saga. Right, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I'm really happy, and I'm here today with Dr. Toto Hex and Realm. Sadly, Paper Dong couldn't make it today, but they will tell us their opinions on Water 7 and Long Ring Long Land next time, because I think that these are all kind of connected anyway. It's like when I finished the manga yesterday, the reading. Because we have some sick people here, I'm going to introduce you today. This is Toto Hex, the smart Oceanone-san turtle, and Realm, the handsome purple-haired cool person.
Woo woo.
Do you have anything else you want to add to that? I'm sorry.
You're pretty close.
I mean, man, do you know us or do you know us?
Yeah.
Even...
And yeah, I'm sorry if that I messed up the beginning of stream. I just forgot that I had to have to press buttons. It's been a minute. But it seems like it wasn't a big deal. All right. Yes, the smartest science turtle. That's what I was like. Science, One-chan.
Yeah, it's a lot that I get used to it.
Yeah. Well, no, of course it's like your tagline.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. To the chat, we only read up to the end of Water 7 and not Annie's lobby.
Yes.
So I know the whole arc gets kind of mixed up together. So no spoilers for Annie's lobby.
Yes. Let me bring up the thing that says no spoilers. But what I did to talk about. I read a lot of it yesterday, so it's fresh in my brain.
Yes, the freshness. I will say, I was after our last stream. I was like, oh, I had like a long weekend. I went, oh, I'll get right into it. Try reading the first. Was it Long Ring?
Yeah, Long Ring, Long Land.
Yeah, okay. And I absolutely lost all the motivation. Which you guys said it was going to happen, you and Dawn specifically. So
yeah, Long Ring, Long Land is like everyone's least favorite arc. It is not bad, but it's not good.
My appreciation for horses went up just by one. Everything else went down to the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we can just get into it since we got to talk about Long Ring Long Land first. Luckily, it's not too long.
And then the anime adds it out to like 3 times as long. It's so bad.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I probably would have stopped watching the anime. Just because it's like, okay, and but yeah, the log post tells them to go to Long Ring, right? It's really funny at first because everything is really long on the land.
Yeah.
So there's like really long bamboo and really long horses, leopards. I like that they call them horses.
This is my horse.
This is not a horse, it is a horse.
Yeah. This is actually reading both Long Ring Long Land and Water 7. I thought a lot of the time I was like, Oda just really draws whatever the heck he thinks of, like everything that he thinks of, huh? It's just funny. Which I mean, it's your mom.
Yeah, and then they find the man who's like on the really long bamboo, but he was okay because he ate the really long apples on the really long trees for like years, like 10 years or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, because Luffy, Chopper, and Usopp go and explore.
Yeah.
And like the like a house and which is like I know it's a reference something in Japanese. I can't. Like the old men in bamboo thing. Joke.
Yeah, like the bamboo spirits or something.
Yeah, it's like bamboo spirits or something.
And just like this weird old dude, and he invites them into his house, and he's like, "Oh, I have some fresh milk." And he's like, "Actually, would you like some cheese? Because it's been 2 years or whatever."
Fresh. How do you know it's fresh?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the rest of the crew are back at the ship, but another giant ship shows up. It's like Foxy the Silver Fox's giant ship. And he's heard of Luffy and he wants to fight Luffy. I guess Luffy's starting to gain order. Yeah.
Yeah, before this they ran into like another ship of like frog pirates or something, but they didn't even have a captain or like a navigator, and they like capsized.
Yeah.
And it turns out Foxy is like doing this like pirate game called a daily backbite.
Yeah.
Where you basically wager your own crew members as like the as the poker chips, and you try to win each other's crews. So he had stolen all the crew from the frog pirates, and now he's after the One Piece, or not the One Piece pirates, the Straw Hat pirates. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, thinking about all the competitions, I thought it would have been like up Usopp's alley to sort of understand these games, just because like the way he fights is similar. Because Foxy would do whatever he can along with his crew to like forcibly make it so he wins. Very cheesy stuff, very like slapstick humor. I was like, oh, I feel like Usopp would definitely do that.
Yeah,
For justice,
except he's
course.
like, no, don't do it, because it's like actually bad. If you lose, like really bad.
Yeah, and like Zoro and Sanji are paired up, and they have to actually work together for once to do their fight.
And yeah, Usopp is with Robin and Nami. Yeah. They like, I mean, honestly, Nami picked the right like fight because she had to navigate the waters.
Yeah, but then they got cheated.
Yeah, it didn't matter though. Like, Nami was doing so good, and they used the impact dials and everything to help them out. It didn't matter because Foxy the whole time.
His fish is just so punchable.
The slow fruit. Which just slows things down.
He can shoot like slow beams made of like slow protons or something, like made of. It's like really dumb. And I hate it.
It is really dumb.
I was about to say, our resident
power.
our resident science teacher I would love to hear an explanation of how dumb this is.
It's so dumb. What?
So dumb. And
Yes.
it's like it kind of made me think how like lots of shonen anime have like have like tournament arcs, but like isn't really the type of anime to have. Sorry, I don't know what forgive me for everything. To have that, at least the way the story's going so far, so it felt like this was poking fun at that, honestly. Or he was storyboarding Water 7 in a lobby and time being. I'm not sure.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
With how like kind of boring the island was, because it was just like long things and then one dude on it.
Yeah.
And, like the explanation was everyone else has moved on to the next island because it's like a little ring of islands.
Yeah, I was actually more interested in the we never got to find out about, but that's okay.
Yeah. What did you guys think of Afro Luffy, though?
I loved the attire. Not his best outfit, but
I like the fake tattoo. Whatever it was. More than the afro. But I mean, I guess he was getting into it. What do you think about Afro Luffy? Toto?
I don't really care for it.
Yeah, I don't really either. It's like, okay.
They're all like, Usopp's all like, you gotta look like a man when you go boxing with Foxy in the final round, and he puts on like an afro wing. It's like, oh okay.
The way they were dressed and the style of the names too, it actually does sound like, like a 40s boxer.
Yeah. It was like, I will say that the translation did it really well to make it not too, I don't know, but it was a little bit like, well, whatever. We're just gonna have him fight in a wig, I guess. I don't know how the wig stayed on his head. That's the part.
Yeah, it just felt like such a different tone than like what we had before with Sky Island. It was just like suddenly really gag manga-y.
Yeah, it was very gag manga. And even like when like Zoro and Sanji were fighting your brothers or whatever, like who are these guys? They finally like they did work together and they like they actually won Chopper back, but gosh, it was so slapsticky that it was like, okay, when are they gonna win is kind of what it felt like. I guess I felt like I could tell who was going to win. I don't know.
Yeah, it felt very like by the numbers shonen, which is like not what One Piece usually is.
Yeah.
But this felt like that's what I was saying. It's like not actually that bad, but for One Piece standards, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think I have more of this opinion in like Water 7 with some of Robin's characterization and some of this stuff. But the fact that like this was made in like 2003, 2004 didn't really feel like it for a large chunk of it. And then has this slapstick humor that kind of fits into like the typical shonen of that time. I'm just like, I don't know, it makes me appreciate more of what it had been doing. It can like not take itself seriously, but also at the same time, it really hasn't been a typical shonen for a large chunk of it.
Yeah.
Actually, that makes me think like Bobo was really big at that time, right? So
yeah,
that's what the afro's for. I don't know.
Oh my god, could you
Was it a
imagine?
reference to Bobo?
Well,
I don't know.
Luffy is also very bendy, very twisty.
Yeah.
So
That is true. He's very wiggly.
he's one the wiggles.
I don't know. But
He's one nose hair away from Bobobo.
yeah, like it's not the worst, you're right, Toto, but it's really not. Like after Skypiea was so epic and cool, it was like, okay, what is this? I don't know. And by epic, I mean like spanning.
Yeah, like a huge like world building thing, and now we're just kind of like on a pretty plain island.
Exactly.
But, okay.
It was
And
all
we
encompassing.
Okay, so they beat Foxy. Let's just get over with. They beat Foxy.
It's
They make
true,
it so
yes.
that Foxy can't be a pirate anymore because they take their Jolly Roger.
Yes.
And they're just like, yeah, screw you. We hope we never see you again.
Yeah, Luffy
And-
reveals the pirate's flag. And then the last few chapters are.
Then the last few chapters got really good again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, good. Yeah, because they go back to the house, and then there's a dude there. His name is Aokiji, and he's like an admiral of the Marines.
Yes, which is like the top, or like pretty much like the top ranking military commander. in
Yes.
the Marines.
Yeah, and he's like really. As soon as he uses his abilities, which is like is it called the cold fruit? Hiya no mi? Ice fruit, chili fruit. Okay.
Yeah, chili fruit. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this guy's really powerful. Oh god. And Robin is like very unnerved. Oh gosh, I think they finally explain why Robin is no good, I guess. Or why everybody thinks she's no good. Because she can read poneglyphs. And that's like a problem. It's like very dangerous that she can read ancient language, I guess. Find out why later. But he just starts like Robin attacks Aokiji, but then Aokiji like he just kind of like instantly freezes her. Terrifying. And they try to like save her, like most of the crew. Pretty fighty dudes. Zoro, Sashi, and Luffy. But then Luffy's like, go back, I have to fight him one-on-one. But then he just leaves. Oh, but Aokiji was also really nice and helped the dude that got left behind, like, go find the rest of his. Don't shrug.
Yeah, I'm curious to what you guys think though, because he's like also like a different level of power than what we've seen before.
Right. Yeah, like he
Like
truly.
he's like similar in power to, I guess, Enel from Skypiea, but Luffy was just like the perfect matchup against Enel.
Yeah, he was.
He's rubber for electricity.
Rubber.
But this guy's ice.
Yeah, so it's a bit scary. And I think, like, I mean, Enel, he knew his power, like, he knew how to use it, but I feel like Aokiji's just that much more skilled at it. Like, he knows exactly how powerful he is. And I guess because, like, one of the top admirals, that's why. So, I don't know, it really showed power leveling, I thought. Or just, like, how the Marines are just actually can be that powerful, because so far they haven't really been much to look at so far.
Two things. One, as soon as I saw him bike on water using ice, I knew he was a baller. So that was pretty cool. But the second more serious thing was it just like kind of makes you think, like, I don't know, at the beginning the Marines were, oh my god, we're the Marines, we're the good guys, and then you immediately see like a corrupt, you know, like sergeant on an island occupying his time and being all authoritative, and then you see like other Marines who have different ideas, and you see like how it all expands, and now it kind of makes you think like what really is like the depth to the Marines, because there's all different correlations of like neutral good, chaotic evil, you know, lawfully good, and then, like, you know, if there's probably going to be a lot more like internal strife just based on the fact that some people don't care but have amazing powers. Some people use evil to fight evil for good, or some people are just so stuck up in righteousness that, you know, that they just think they're absolutely right, you know. So like, I don't know, give a little more depth to the Marines.
Yeah, because specifically Aokiji says that his like brand of justice is like lazy justice. Because at first he's like, yeah, I don't really want to fight you guys. I'll just like help this dude by freezing the entire fucking ocean so that he can cross. But then he's like, actually, I changed my mind. You all die now.
Fickle.
But then he was like, I don't know if it was just like guts when you said you were going to fight me one-on-one, Luffy, but because I beat you one-on-one, then I can't go after the rest of your crew because I already beat you now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why he left. And he's like, I'm not sure if you actually thought you could beat me, or if you were just saying that so you could give your crew time to escape.
Yeah, because I don't know. Maybe he just goes by a set, like, morals, self-morals, because there's, like, super corrupt Marines. I don't know, they recognize that maybe Luffy's not the worst, like Smoker seems to. I don't know. Or that he just, like, you know...
What? Morally gray characters in my shonen manga? What?
It's true.
I can't believe you said that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think, I don't know, I'm very interested to know more about, like, the admirals. When I read Aokiji, I was like, his blue fest, okay? Hi, but...
Yeah, that's more of a title.
Oh, so, it's a title, okay.
Yeah, Aokiji is his title.
Okay, it's not his, like, actual
name.
Might not be.
Yeah. All the... I don't want to spoil any of the other names, but yeah, they all have, like, a title like this.
Yeah. I don't remember if... I think they said them. It was, like, red and whatever as well, but I don't remember what they... They don't...
Yeah, we'll meet them
later
in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much the end of this arc. They do collect Luffy and they like heal him up.
Yeah, they defrost
afterwards.
Robin and Luffy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. I had actually written it down in my notes that Aokiji, like, he beats him, but he's like, I won't kill you because you did crocodiles. That's good enough. Now we're even. That's what he says. I'm like,
It's still like so weird because like Crocodile was supposed to be working for the government.
yeah.
But yeah, he was definitely a bad guy.
Yes. And
But I do like that reference to like earlier arcs.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they just rest, defrost their friends. And then they go along on to Water 7. So they go to a train stop first.
Okay, but first off, let's give our star and slug ratings for Long Ring Long Land.
Oh. You want to go first, Realm, or do you want me to go first?
I will just I'll get out of the way.
Sure.
I would say it's been a hot minute since we've done the ratings.
Yeah, right.
Star rating 0.5. Nobody needs to read this. Except for like the last chapter or two.
Yeah.
Where they meet like right at the beginning where you see, oh, funny joke, everybody's long, everything's like a ring, funny. Alright, skip to Ayakoji.
Yeah.
You know, foreshadowing, ooh, awesome powers, ooh, alright, cool, skip, go.
Yeah.
Yada. Slug rating, 1.
Do not recommend.
I personally, I was like so enamored by Skypiea.
Yeah.
And then I immediately read that afterwards, and then I immediately shut it off for like a month.
No, literally from sky high to like down low. Huh?
Yeah,
I was sucker punched with disappointment, and that was not cool. Bad.
Right.
And it was just such a long land.
I like that joke. If they made that joke.
It's so fun to make fun of this arc, though. But yeah, I would also give it a 1 for both star and slug rating. This is the most skippable arc.
Yeah.
It's the worst one.
Yeah, I
My
think
lord.
actually, really, after reading this, I'm like, people say to skip Skypiea. I'm sure they say to skip Long Ring Long. But it's like if you skip Skypiea and you go into Water 7, I feel like you lose a lot of like character time with Robin. And it's
that's true. Because Robin really hasn't been with us for that long, actually.
No, like if you skip Skypiea, it's like I feel like you're gonna be way more sympathetic towards Robin, because you have like seen her in action and helping everyone out and cool lady. But like I don't know, Skypiea was so good and Long Land was just a 1. Well, I would agree. Except for the last few chapters.
Yeah, the last few chapters are pretty good, and I think that I think the Davy back fight could have been done way better, but I think he was trying to set up like, hey, all the crew members are important. This is why having a crew is important.
Yes. Yeah, I will
and
say
that kind of leads to the star.
Right. Yeah, it does showcase members' ability. It does do that, but I already do it because they all have their own fights in Skypiea.
Yeah, true. It was very like.
Oh well. It's over now.
All's mid that ends well.
Go to Water 7, which is actually interesting.
Yeah, let's get to the good part of the saga.
Yeah.
We've spent too long talking about Long Ring Long Land. Let's move on.
And I also found Water 7 to be a much more fascinating like island anyway, so.
It's like we're back to the good parts.
Yeah.
Yay. We finished eating our vegetables. Now back for the good parts. The juicy bits.
See.
Okay. So, I guess one thing, they're going there. Excited. They didn't know they were going there because the log horizon. Log horizon.
Do you want to be isekai?
My brain is so weird today. The log pose.
Good story.
The log pose has to go there, right? And does Robin know that there's like shipbuilder people there? I don't remember. But they figure it out, and maybe they figure it out by stopping at the train station.
Yeah, the train lady tells them that, hey, Water 7 has the best shipwrights in the world.
Okay, it's her. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they run into like a random train station in the middle of the ocean with like a little girl, her cat, which is actually a rabbit,
Yeah.
and this like drunk, weird-looking lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
like the little girl's name is Chimney, and I think that was cute.
One detail I kind of want to point out because I just noticed it rereading it a little bit today is like Sanji cooks food for the people on the ship, right? He makes like potato
makes,
stuff.
like,
yeah, pale.
It's basically just shoestring French fries, but yeah.
Yeah. And then he gets in a fight. He gets an argument with Zoro, but like in the background later, you still see Zoro eating something. So like Sanji still fed him. Sanji's just being a tsundere about it.
He's like, here you go.
Yeah, he's like, thanks, delicious. He's still eating it.
It's true. Like, yeah, he acts like a jerk to like Usopp and Zoro all the time, and then he's nice.
Yeah, I think upon reread, you pick up a lot of these like subtle like background characterization things like that they don't really say. And I'll talk about another one later. But yeah, there's a frog that keeps running into the train.
Yeah.
You don't find out why till later.
Yeah, Yoko's trying to run in. Honestly, were you expecting there to be a train in the sea? Because I was like, this is amazing, and I was not expecting that.
No, I was not. It was very cool. They just logicked the hell out of it, and I was just like,
I mean, it kind of makes
we ride at dawn.
They
Let's
flew
go.
through the sky, and now we have
Right?
trains, but
Right.
it's fun.
And then they go to Water 7, which is basically fantasy Venice, which is amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. They just like built the town from the water, which I guess is.
And I liked how their town was not based off of any sort of, I don't know, totalitarian. This is the first one where we're just like, the town is initially not having any issues whatsoever.
Not really.
It's actually just like a quaint town owned by like hardworking craftsmen.
They're a bustling town.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they can like take care of themselves and they love their mayor.
Yeah,
and he's actually a good dude.
They have horse fishes to travel around, and it's kind
Yes,
of funny.
what's it called? The fish bowls?
Yeah. I think they're supposed to be like seahorses,
They're
kind
definitely
of.
seahorses, but they wanted
Yeah.
in the translation I read they wanted to call them horses.
Yeah, they're called they're called like bulls, I think,
they're
in some translation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that what male seahorses are called? I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
That doesn't make much sense though. If they're not sea cows. Anyway.
They do moo though. It's
True, they do move.
But yeah, they go there because they want to repair their ship, the Manga, and they like stop. They keep being told to go to different places because they're like, you're gonna get captured or whatever. Or not captured, but like you can't walk here. So they're off to like a rock and dock there. And I feel like they showed a couple times where Robin is like getting sweaty and nervous. She just kind of takes off on her with no, she doesn't go off on her own. She goes with Chopper to go look around. Sanji goes by himself. Nami and find the shipwright. They got like a letter of recommendation. Station master.
Yeah, and they also go to trade in their like Skypia gold for like actual money.
Yeah, they do that.
And Nami pulls a like good move and like actually like, dude, you can't scam us. Give us more.
Yeah, give us some.
And she like bargains the dude, and she's like, yeah, this dude over here, see him? He might look like a doofus, but he's worth 100 billion berries, and he can beat you up. So you better give me like the right amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they get like 300 million berry. Oh, they get a lot of berry.
Yeah, they got a lot of money. They got like 3 Luffy's worth.
Yeah, 3 Luffy's.
And Luffy almost immediately like chucks it into the river.
The most Luffy thing to do.
Yeah.
gets the absolute
and then he just like
smacked out of
scratches
him.
his arm and grabs it.
Yeah, and then Usopp's like, yeah, you can't hold the money anymore. I'll hold
Yeah.
your suitcase for you.
Yeah. So they go to the Galley Law deck shipbuilding company. All that.
Doc?
Like the
The
dock.
dock, yeah. The
Yeah.
dock. Yeah, and they talk to a guy, one of the foremen says that the guy that the recommendation letter for, his name's Iceberg. He's actually the mayor of Water 7. And he also runs the company. Shipbuilding company. Then Kaku just like jumps away to go inspect the ship.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to like play on the notion of like who is the next crew member gonna be, because they were all talking about like we need a shipwright on the crew, we need a shipwright on the crew.
Yeah, oh yes, before they got
And
there.
they kind of show off like all the shipwrights have their own little like quirks.
Yes.
Like Iceberg just like cancels his meetings and like picks up a rat and like keeps it in his pocket,
his
and
name is
Kaku like
Terrence.
runs real fast. And like there's the other dude who has like a little like cowlick that keeps sticking out, but when he pushes it in, it sticks out from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, who's gonna be the dude?
Yeah, and there's like the guy that keeps telling all the ladies.
Yeah, and there's the mute dude with the pigeon. I'm curious though, did you guys think any of these guys would join the crew?
No, because, well, okay, here's my thoughts. I have foreshadowing evidence. Did I take a screenshot of it? I might have. I'll talk about it later. But no, I didn't, because of the drawing that Luffy makes.
You're right, I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the I want the giant that's 5 meters tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he makes like this terrible drawing, and Usopp's like, if I saw that, I would run away.
Yeah.
It's awesome foreshadowing.
I was like, none of these people look like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't think any of them were going to be. I don't know about you, Rom.
No, I unfortunately the internet has told me otherwise.
Oh.
So I knew a little bit. Like I saw the guy with the square nose, and I said, "Oh, square nose guys looks familiar." And later I saw the bar guy with the bull horns. I'm like, "Oh, he looks kind of familiar." But then that's it. Nobody else really stuck out to me. So I just thought of them as more like one-dimensional, quirky characters. I mean, I loved them. They were funny, like Iceberg's dialogue with
Yeah.
all the meetings that he has going on. They're like, "Oh, sir, you have." He's like, "I don't wanna." Okay, it's canceled. You're
Yeah.
good. He's like, "Oh, now I'm bored. I guess I'll take you around the town."
Yeah, Iceberg is like, he looks like such a serious dude, but he like actually doesn't take much stuff seriously.
I also think this was made in like 2005 or whatever, and he has a very like 2023 haircut. Like, go him, I guess, for being ahead
Yeah.
of the
You're
curve.
right.
He has a
Blue.
haircut like on point.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. It's like so on fleek.
very fashionable.
Yeah. And his like really nicely trimmed beard.
Mhm. Yeah, I liked his Tyrannosaurus.
I will say, like, a lot of people thought Iceberg was going to be the next crew member because he's like a blue-haired guy, and we don't have a blue-haired person yet.
Yeah.
And
that
he
makes
seems like he would be like a good person for the crew, and he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
It was that, or they said Polly, which was the rope dude, because he had like his rope power that he used, and they're like, oh, that's cool.
Wondered, just because I see like weird things because they sometimes use a lot of art of Polly and not a lot of any of the other characters from this arc so far. So I was like, who is this guy? But I think somebody just really likes him online.
Oh dear, what kind of art of Polly? they're posting.
Like they were like
dear.
screenshots of the anime. It wasn't like scary art.
Okay. I was just gonna say there could be a lot of art of man with ropes.
No, you're right.
all.
You're right. Oh no, didn't think about that. Oh yeah, but I think they have some. People keep trying to steal their money though. Like as soon as they get there, the Franky family, the gang of dismantlers, they like steal. And Usopp. They kidnap him as well. And then when Aku, got the long nose, not Usopp, comes back, they're like the deck merry-go will never sail again. It's devastating to Luffy, understandably. And Nami, I guess, too. But, I don't know. Then it's like everybody's doing their own thing. I think.
Yeah, Sanji's out to buy food.
Yeah.
Robin and Chopper go to like get books.
Yeah.
And Chopper goes into the bookstore, and then a masked man like passes by Robin and like whispers something to her, and she just kind of like goes into a cold sweat, and then she like leaves everyone else.
Yeah.
And when Chopper and Sanji do find her, she's like, "Yeah, I can't be part of the crew anymore. This is goodbye," and she leaves. Just like mysterious. Ooh.
Now this was the part where I was just like, yeah, this was definitely written early 2000s.
Oh, really?
Very edgy, very Sasuke similar.
Oh,
like,
no.
ooh, you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
understand how dark and mysterious. I'm so edgy. You won't even understand, man. Yeah, that I
He
just
doesn't want
like
to
looked
explain.
out of my chair for a second.
That's her reasons for not wanting to.
Oh, 100%. It rectifies itself
Yeah.
with what we figure out later on. But I was just like, oh man, I'm shrouded in darkness. I'm like, oh my god, please.
Yeah, some of the lines she says are very much like you have to have like the full context to be like, oh, what is this about? But she's like, there's a shadow looming over me that I can never escape from.
It is true.
Just
She's
like,
a little melodramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're the one who said you wanted secret agents.
Yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
like this is more secret than Baroque Works was. Baroque Works was like an open secret.
Yeah,
And now we got like actual like undercover
compared to these
people.
fools.
bad secret
Yeah.
agents. Uh,
But yes, I loved it. I loved the little peeks here and there.
mhm.
Little, oh hey, this is Agent CP9. Oh,
Oh.
now it begins.
Mhm.
Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy. But it was cool. And then everything just like all of a sudden, as soon as that happens, everything just starts happening so quickly.
Yeah,
Like,
it.
When I was looking at it, I was just like, oh, there's like 50 something chapters. Oh, it'll be good. Like, I don't know, maybe because I was just anticipating more chapters in this arc, but I think it paced itself very well considering like how much progress they made. Like you said, if anybody read straight through to the next arc, like I wouldn't blame them. It was just like
It's
straight
very.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot happens in each chapter.
Yeah.
Like each chapter develops a lot of stuff in this arc. Unlike Long Ring Long Man, where it's just like, can we be done now?
Yeah.
But yeah, because like they find Usopp's beat up body, and Usopp's like beating himself up too, because he's like, I lost the money. I lost 200 million. Like now we can't fix the merry-go, and it's because I was so weak. And I lost all the money. Like I'm such an idiot. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then the other dudes on the crew are just like, yeah, we're gonna go beat them up. It's personal now.
Yeah, no, actually, I thought that scene was really cool where Usopp's all beat up and Chopper, Zoro, Sanji, and like, we're gonna go get vengeance on you. Oh, it was a cool scene.
Justice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the photos I saved.
Yeah.
Was that strut up to Franky house?
Yeah, One Piece has such good like character lineups. I think we talked about this before. So like the cool guy is just like walking silently, or
Yeah.
like standing there silently. It's so good.
Yeah, didn't that happen in Did that happen in? I think it happened in Alabasta and the island where they got Usopp and the Going Merry.
Yeah, and uh, not Fishman Island.
I know what you mean.
Nami's
It's,
Island. Nami's
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah.
Long Park, yeah.
Oh,
Arlong
Park.
Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so good. But it's
Yeah,
like
so
spaced
good.
out so well. You just like you forget about it until afterwards. You're like, oh my god, no, they did. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know. It's,
Yeah, what do you think of the fight against the Franky family?
I kind of thought
they
it was
messed
nice.
it up.
Yeah, they just beat them all up. Like I was kind of glad it wasn't really a fight. Like it was like true. Like you beat up our friend when it. The leader's not there, so yeah.
How convenient.
Yeah, how convenient. He's gone to go spend all the.
Which did we ever find out what they spent it on? Did I just like skip over it?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
Okay.
You will.
Alright, good. Because I saw something at the towards the end of the arc. I'm like, did they spend on something on like that? I'm like, does that cost 200 million berry?
He had leftover money. Not that much.
Yes,
Did he?
so-
He pretty much spent it all, I
He
think.
spent almost all of it, and the rest of it he spent it at the farm when he returned.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I loved his. I liked his entrance. I liked Franky's entrance. At the top of that building, doing the dance
Yeah.
with the two like go-go girls.
Yeah, the Square Sisters
Yeah.
with the square haircuts.
Yeah, I do like his I don't know, surfer musical entrance that he has.
It's better in the anime because they actually make him like they animate his dance and everything,
Oh yeah, for sure.
him posing and everything.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yeah, he's just like a big dude with a pompadour and wearing only a Speedo and a Hawaiian shirt that's
Yeah.
open. With his like Square Sisters backup dancers.
Yeah. If he had his regular nose, you'd see like white suntan lotion on
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now he has the metal instead.
Yeah,
as
I
his
feel
little
like
contrast.
that's why his nose is metal, honestly, to give him the surfer thing.
But then like yeah, when he does show up to fight them because they beat up the Franky family.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, like the shipwrights are also fighting the Straw Hats now because apparently they had heard that, or there was an assassination attempt on Iceberg, and apparently Robin had done it. So they're also like fighting the Straw Hats now too.
Yeah.
So like everything kind of falls to shit.
But before that, they have to like tell Usopp that the Going Merry can't sail, and that's a big deal.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a
Yeah.
big moment.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a big
That's the order
deal.
of things.
I understand Usopp is very broken up about it. Can't say that it's true, and so Luffy gets really mad at him, and then they end up fighting over like what they'll do. Usopp obviously battle, but I think it was kind of nice to see like what Usopp had up his sleeve.
Yeah, what did you think of that whole like argument and that fight they had?
I mean, I understand why Usopp was mad. I understand why Luffy was mad too. They're both stupid and like said one extra sentence.
What about you, Realm? Because this is kind of
Um,
like the emotional part of this.
Yeah,
story.
I liked it. It was one of the serious Luffy moments, and it wasn't like it wasn't those talk no jutsu sort of protagonist moments. It was actually like a hard decision, and then like an actual legitimate argument amongst characters that normally they just banter and like that's it. Like you in the background of other scenes, like if someone's reacting wildly, there they are, always in tandem with each other. But this was like actually like a big deal to both of them. So it was. I liked it. It added more character to them.
It is true. I would agree. I think it always makes me really sad in like shows or books or anything when people that are friends start fighting. I'm always like, stop it, you're friends. But it does have character growth for because he let go of the merry-go and lose captain. So
I think it's deeper than that because
for
Usopp
sure.
also says like, if you're just gonna throw away like the merry-go because they can't sell anymore, then why don't you throw away me too? Because I'm so weak. I can't even hold a candle to you guys.
Yeah, it's true. It was more than like he felt like he's not strong enough to be with them.
And then like Iceberg does say something to Luffy before this, which is like, you call yourself a captain? Like if you really want to go on that ship and like sail until it sinks and you all die, that's on you. Like you call yourself a captain.
Yeah.
And that kind of hit Luffy hard too.
Mm-hmm.
And like he has to be responsible for the safety of the crew first and foremost.
Yeah.
And then also like Sanji also comes in and like kicks Luffy before Luffy says something, and he's like, "Don't say something you'll regret."
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Like Sanji's like knows that Luffy's gonna be like, "Well, you just have to leave the ship then," and in anger, tries to stop him.
Yeah, and Nami's very much like you, Trips, where you're just like, just stop fighting.
Yeah,
like just talk it out, jeez.
You all like each other. Stop it.
And then Chopper's just crying.
Yeah.
Robin's not even there. Zoro's just kind of like staying silent and just like watching.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like Zoro was very dad-like in that scene. Chopper wants to go help out, and he's and fight. And the Going Mary's crying too.
Yeah, it starts raining and looks like the Going Mary is crying.
Like, no.
What did you think of the fight between Luffy and Usopp, though? Because this is the first time they've actually fought each other.
Yeah.
And Usopp shows a lot more, like, powers than he has in the past.
I kind of said, go ahead, Ron.
No, I was just like, He did. I don't know. You want to root for the underdog, but at the same time, he did kind of prove his point. Like all you can do is just like cheap tricks. Like they work to some degree, but honestly, like they keep facing more. Like they keep facing stronger people, and like besides Luffy being protected by plot armor, whatever that may be, he just is like stupidly sturdy, and so like if he can't even face like definitely hurt a friend that he knows about so much, like in terms of fighting, he kind of did just prove his point that he's like not at a pace. I mean, the other things, I never wanted to go to Grand Line, never wanted to get be king of the pirates, that was all just an excuse because they're all bakas and tsunderes. But they no, I think it needed to be addressed.
Yeah.
It shows somebody need to do better, and then I think that'll slowly permeate itself, because everybody else is whether it's Nami's navigation skills or fighting with the sticks, or Zoro continuously adapting to become a better swordsman, or Luffy just showing more and more things with the power of friendship.
Yeah.
Now you just think about it, like I don't know, maybe if he would have brought it up, that it would ever be talked about personally in like One Piece like fandom, maybe it would have, but like for like waiting for a long time. But I don't know, that's just me like thinking about how fans would retroactively think about the crew in terms of like strength, or would they like to talk about. I don't know, maybe it was necessary.
Oh, be careful, because like power scaling One Piece fans are like the worst. They can get into huge arguments about like who's stronger than who would beat who in a fight, and that's like not what the series is usually about.
I was in the Naruto like fandom for a while, not because I was debating myself, but I followed YouTubers who made videos on hypothetical, like one of the obscure characters that was mentioned vaguely in Shippuden. They're like, well, how strong was he actually? And then they base other characters to show how powerful he would be, but that's all theoretical. But then people get into it because it's all theoretical, so you could really do anything. I mean, not my first time talking philosophy, but that's just a rabbit hole you don't want to go down.
Yeah. And kind of like the point is like they can't do things without the whole crew there because they all served like different roles on the ship.
Yeah.
You have to have a full crew. You can't do it by yourself.
They do, and I mean, Usopp is really creative. I mean, if anything, the fight showed that. I think I felt like he was a kindred spirit for a moment when he used his caltropped hell, because I've definitely just thrown a bunch of caltrops on the ground and hope for the best. Yeah.
And then I do like at the end, after Usopp, like, he obviously does lose. He does do some damage to Luffy, but he still loses. And he knew he couldn't win. Chopper is like about to go heal him. Sanji says, no, don't go heal him. But then later, Chopper like sneaks off the boat and Sanji sees him, but still lets him go to like give medicine and just like leave it there for Usopp. Just like, Sanji acts all tough, like he wants to be a big man, but he still is soft on the inside. And like Chopper's just a big sweetie who wants everyone to be okay.
I mean, he is a doctor.
Like, yeah, he's like real good character work.
Yeah.
But then Zoro, now he's just like, you guys are all dumb. Like, this is so stupid. Zoro's like, this is what it means to be captain. You can't doubt yourself, Luffy. Otherwise, like, why would we follow you if you're doubting yourself now? Which he also has a point. It's just like everyone gets like a little bit of character in this part, and I love it. It's real good. It's really subtle with some of its character stuff.
Yeah, I think it's good, and it also felt like if anybody was gonna be feel insecure and want to leave, it's gonna be Usopp first. Yeah. Of course he doesn't. I mean, we'll talk about it later, but he's still around.
He is?
Well, maybe he's not. He's having his character growth. Transformation cocoon. Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, now they go fight in Franky and the shipwrights, right?
Yes. Yeah, now they do. Yes, because iceberg shot. Franky showed. At the same time, it's like announced that the Aqua Laguna is coming down, which is high tide that engulfs the lower part of the city. Kind of like a what is the kind of like a tsunami.
Yeah, but did you notice that the Aqua Laguna matches exactly with the long land tides going up and down too?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like it's connected. Wow.
Yeah, it's all connected.
One long timeline. I wish they would have made something funny like Aqua like Laguna.
True. It's called that in Long Ring Line. And called Aqua Laguna here in Water 7.
Yes.
What did you guys think of Franky's powers though? Because Franky starts showing off his actual abilities in this fight.
Yeah, I was personally I had seen the character before, but I didn't know about him. And I didn't know he was a cyborg, so wow, a robot man. So I guess I thought it was pretty cool because I wondered if there would be a cyborg. One Piece, anything goes in the One Piece universe. I think it's cool. I also like that he has a fridge in his bed. But also that he did it all himself. I guess we can talk about that later. I don't know. He's cool.
Yeah.
He looks cool too.
What about you, Realm? I'm sure you might have been spoiled on this.
No, actually. I mean, I knew aspects of his kit, like specifically with his arms, here and there, like intermittently, because, you know, live online. but I did not know that he was an actual cyborg, and I like how, or rather, it's funny that people in One Piece are creative or ingenuitive. Like they're able to do something like that, but like not really have a name to it. Well, they do obviously say it's a cyborg, but everybody around him's like, what? Like that's a thing? Like you can do that? So like advanced enough where people can do it, but not advanced enough where it's like a real thing to a lot of people.
Yeah, and he's like a weirdo cyborg because, like you mentioned, he has like a fridge in his belly.
Yeah.
And he just has like all these like random mass powers. But they do like show off that he can swim. So like they realize that this is not a devil fruit power. It is actually a different thing.
Yeah, because he breathes fire and then he has no arms. He can do all sorts of stuff.
And he could be a centaur.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Yeah, so my question was, does he actually run on that like whatever juice he has?
Cola?
Like cola to make him go like a PC, like a water cooled PC? Or does he actually just use it as a fridge to store him and let him drink it and be like, oh, I feel better now that I drank. Like, nah, is my power source.
That is a great question.
I'm gonna assume it never gets answered.
Or it does and we can't know yet. I don't know. He's a cyborg.
Okay.
Shrug. Think
Yeah,
about
it's pretty
cyborg from the...
It's not like Cyborg from the DC.
Yeah, I was like, it's not gonna be like that.
Imagine that, but like if all the powers were like stupid.
We're stupid.
But somehow useful.
Yeah, no one's smart enough like Tony Stark to add like an arc reactor to yourself. It's just you're getting cola.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
if he wants to have cola all the time, why wouldn't you put something in your stomach? A fridge in your stomach?
Yeah, but then would you need to drink it though if it was already in your stomach? That is a weird question.
I don't know. I asked myself that last night, and I was like, think about it too hard.
He's literally built different.
Yeah, he's just actually literally built different.
But yeah, now the focus becomes more on getting Robin back because they're like, there's no way that Robin actually shot Iceberg. We have to go talk to Iceberg somehow.
So they try to go get to his room, where he's, like, resting in. Which Luffy does make it there. He just kind of like busts through the window. But the secretary lady, like helps him get to the room. I guess Iceberg wants to talk to anyway. Yeah, and he confirms that he did see Nico Robin there, but that there was somebody else there. Wants to see Robin one. But Luffy's like, I don't know where she is. I thought you would help me. That didn't work very well. But Iceberg shoots the gun and then he has to run away. It alerts everyone. Then I think the I have a darkness that you don't understand moment happens because Chopper and Sanji are looking for Robin. He's like, just go away. Leave me behind. Let's see. Oh yeah, they all gather. Oh my gosh, there's at some point during all of this where everyone kind of meets up, and they meet up because like Zoro and Nami are like sitting on Luffy as he's like hanging under a bridge, and I was like, damn, Luffy is strong.
Yeah.
As he's holding them up.
Because all the townspeople are after them too, because they love Iceberg.
Yeah.
And they think that the Straw Hats were part of the assassination team. I actually don't remember exactly the order of things that happened from here on. From this part.
And in this particular part, what had happened the night prior was that Iceberg had been almost killed, and it turns out that he saw Nico Robin be the one to be in his room and almost kill him. But seeing as his dock mates, his shipwriters were super loud, it ended up blurting out that Nico is part of the Straw Hats. Therefore, the Straw Hats tried to kill him, and Luffy went to go see what was up with Iceberg, and Iceberg told him, "You need to be careful of Nico Robin. She has a very, she's a very checkered past. But if I can I see her one more time?" He goes, "Well, I don't know. We don't know anything about what's going on."
Mm-hmm.
And so they escaped, and then that's how they ended up under a bridge because they're trying to hide from all the townsfolk.
It's like, meanwhile, Usopp's trying to gather supplies to fix it up on his own. And I also think Chopper and Sanji run out to the ship at one point and are like, "There's a high tide coming! Oh no!" And then they run away to like warn Usopp without actually talking to him.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh no, I hope the high tide doesn't sink any ships out here. Oh no."
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah, they're sweeties.
And then Franky decides that he's like, "Oh, that's a Straw Hat. I'll kidnap Usopp and steal their ship, and then Luffy find me. I can beat him." And all the galley lock workers are they're forming a barricade around the director's house, the Iceberg's house. Attacked him at night. Like night falls then. So they go back. So they need to go back into the. Sorry. They all decide that they need to go back into Iceberg's mansion because that's the only way that they're probably going to see Robin, because they think that he'll strike again. So they all are trying to have a plan about it, but then Luffy just kind of goes into the house. Kind of runs away and does his own thing, and then Nami, Chopper, and Zoro break in. But then all the assassins start doing stuff.
The masked assassins.
Yeah, the masked assassins, and there's 5 of them.
I think there's 4.
I think it's.
Wait, let me think.
Yeah, it's 4. I think. Maybe. Actually, if I look at the picture that I shared, I think. Yeah, there's 4. Anyway, it doesn't matter that much.
yeah, there's 4 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, they all start showing up and they're fighting all the workers that are trying to protect Iceberg. Really quickly and very efficiently. They are very obviously talented assassins. Gosh. I think. Yeah, the weirdest part though is the door guy. The dude that has the door power, he just I'm gonna open the door, and it's him shaped. Opens it from the wall. Robin walks. And very useful power, but
Yeah, I mean, all devil fruit power is kind of weird, but yeah, he has the door dwarf fruit.
then later on, he's Doraemon. And gosh, it's at that point because the Straw Hats aren't catching up quite in time. Robin makes it to Iceberg, and she's kind of left with him because they're trying to. It's revealed that they're trying to find blueprints. He has blueprints for a ancient weapon, so Pluton. So I guess it was an ancient weapon. I don't know.
Because that got mentioned all the way back in Arabasta.
It did, all the way back in Arabasta, and I wasn't. Yeah, I guess it was. Is that it was a weapon back then?
Was it?
I don't
think
know.
so.
It was just an ancient thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he has.
But apparently, it's a blueprints for like a super powerful ship.
Yes. Yeah, and Iceberg has the blue for some reason, and he's like, I think they all, the agents, the other secret agents, like half of them are trying to go to the blueprints because they are, and then Polly, the one guy, the rope guy, is sent to go get the blueprints before anybody else can get them, but then caught up with the secret, and he also shows up and gets caught up in the secret agents. It gets like pinned down. What is it? A power. And then I think they all gather in his room and like reveal who they are. And they're his workers. All of his former workers are just secret agents. How evil.
Not all of them, but like some of them, and like the guy from the bar and his secretary. Yeah.
Sorry, and then Blue now, the bar owner.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, Blue now, Khalifa, Kaku, and Lucci. And then that like mute pigeon guy, turns out he could talk the whole time, and they've just been biding their time to get these blueprints.
That they're trying to find them. But they knew. So like Iceberg is like, haha, you'll never find the blue. Those are fake, Rob. The agents are like, we knew they were fake.
So we deduce that we can find it using my extreme logic, so there.
Kinda. I mean, they had been like watching Iceberg's every move. They kind of had an idea of what the actual story was. Luffy breaks free, and he breaks Polly free upstairs. And like Zoro and Nami and Chopper also show up shortly after. Iceberg doesn't want to like tell CP9 where like the actual blueprints are. So they like give him a theory. They like checking his pulse while they're like, I have a theory, and then they go like super logic time. I guess.
Yeah, like Toto said, you like these chapters. It's not a crazy amount, but you need to like sit and read everything.
You have to like read everything they're saying.
Yeah, because they're like on the fake blueprints. Oh, it's signed Cuddy Flam, and we heard that name once before, but apparently he had died. But actually, he's here, and he's changed his name to Franky. So actually, Franky has the blueprints.
Yeah. And they're like, ah, our theory was right because your pulse has quickened. Gosh.
I do like how like threatening these like opponents have been though. Like they're just like kind of like cold, no nonsense killers.
Yeah, cold and calculated. Look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Their powers are like cool. Some of them have double fruit, some of them don't, right?
Yeah, but then they have like the 6 Rokushiki powers. Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can remember them all off the top of my head. Moonwalk, Rankyaku, the Tempest Kick, Paper Arts, the dodgy one, Tekai, the Iron Body. Okay, that's 4, right? Shigan, Finger Pistol.
Yeah.
I'm missing one. Soru, the shave technique that makes them go super fast. Yay!
Yay!
I'm a huge nerd! Yay!
Congratulations.
You used your knowledge well.
But yeah, they use these powers to like easily take down the Straw Hats, and it's like not even a contest right now.
Yeah, it really wasn't a contest.
Yeah.
I like their gun power. Then I wanted to read Yu Talk Show again, but not yet. I have to read One Piece.
Yeah, it is kind of like Spirit Gun, but bad because you actually have to like make physical contact. You actually have to like
Yeah,
stab
it's like
someone
worse.
here.
Worse Spirit Gun.
Where's Spirit Gun? But it is like kind of like threatening to see the blood on their fingers after
Yeah,
they
it's
pull
like,
their finger out.
ooh.
Though. It's like, oh gosh.
Yeah, like that's gonna hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're even more threatening because Lucci shows like cat devil fruit, but it's like the leopard version, like really, really big and scary looking. And then they set the building. Somehow, yeah, Nami gets thrown outside. Chopper somehow gets out, and what happens? They go to attack him, but it doesn't work out, and they're gone for a little
Both like
bit.
get knocked out of the building.
Yeah, everybody just gets yeeted out.
Yeah. So Chopper does save like Nami. Like Chopper comes out and then like it's so sweet because Chopper's like, please, I need to treat her. And he like passes out. He's like, oh,
He's just trying
poor
to be a good
baby.
doctor.
Yeah.
Honestly, after this, I was glad that they switched perspective. It gets calm for a little bit as like it's back in Franky's hideout, as Usopp's trying to like fix the ship, and Franky's crying as Usopp tells him his sad backstory. And I think one thing that's interesting is Usopp's like, I'm gonna return to Blue with the ship. And Franky's like, no, you can't do that. If you were just gonna go out and go die with your ship, I was gonna let you do that. But try to go to East Blue? No way. Which is like, oh, okay. And they argue a bunch about how you can't just ship out because doomed, and Usopp's like, I knew it was doomed. Ah! Then they talk about that I didn't even think this was gonna come up again, where I forgot about it, where Usopp saw a strange figure in the fog fixing the by Pia. It turns out the ship was fixing the ship. Because it's like a little ship spirit.
The manifestation of the Going Merry that what's it called? Created itself based on the level of what's it called? I don't know if it's friendship or like happy coexistence between everybody in the crew. Like it knew it was doing its best to be taken care of, so it became a part of itself to like fix it in times of need, which is apparently like another. I thought it was cool because it's like I know like fishermen, people out on waters have a lot of superstitions and folklore, and like they really do follow that stuff. I thought it was good. It didn't make me cry, but they were definitely playing every waterwork trick they could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
tried so hard.
And I kind of like feel like it's like the Toy Story thing where like the toys come alive and they care for the kids.
Yeah, like if you care about your
Yeah,
you
you care about them
care
enough.
about you back.
Yeah. It's like the same thing with the ship. But then like Franky does like throw Usopp into the water down below to see that no, the keel of the ship, like the middle part, is totally busted and it's going to just snap after a little bit. Yeah. It's sad, but the memory is dying.
Yep. Really not a good idea to go. Just even if the ship loves you. Oh gosh. And then I think
Yeah, no, then CP9 shows up. CP9 has beaten up the Franky family to figure out where Franky and Usopp are.
Yep.
Because they know that Franky has the blueprints now.
And so they show up. Give us the blueprints! Franky yells at them. I think it...
Trips, can you please continue using that very silly, angry voice for the bad guys from now on?
Give us the... Okay. I thought you were gonna tell me that I had done something wrong.
No, please continue doing it. I love it.
I was like, what? Sure. They're so cold and rude. I have to give them a silly voice. Although they look cool. I think it immediately cuts to Franky's past then. Like, no, get out of there! And it's like, whoop, 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 whoop. Backstory time.
Yes. What do you guys think of the backstory?
I like this backstory.
Yeah.
I think it like recontext. Flashbacks can be really hard in a lot of series, but same as like plot twists, they're really good when they recontextualize everything you know about the people.
Mm-hmm.
And this flashback recontextualizes a lot of like who Franky is, and also like the old train station lady and the frog and everything, an iceberg, and it gives like more context into like who these people are, and I think that's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want to explain what happens in the backstory, go.
Sure. Sure. So Franky is shown to be living with a puffer guy. His name is Tom, and he going executed because he built a ship for Roger. But then he's like, no, wait. I have this idea, guys. I'm gonna make a sea train, and it can connect to all the other islands and make island life a lot. Worry as much about the aqualung stuff. And the judge is like, okay, you will delay your execution for 10 years. So then more stuff is shown where like Franky and Iceberg are like apprentices with Tom. The train tracks and the train together. Step in whenever you want, Realm. I know that Franky is he really loves building things, and he was like abandoned by his parents for being too much of a problem, which is sad. But he's alright because Tom accepts him for just being creative gremlin, building all this stuff, and Iceberg is more serious and wants to follow more, what do you call it? More by the rules, I guess. Tom's footsteps.
Yeah, Franky was like always tinkering with all the shipwrecked items across. He would make like these battleships with different like cannons, and he'd just be, whenever there's an explosion, you'd see Franky doing whatever it may be. During that whole 10-year little montage as they grew up, it seems that the world government had caught on to the blueprints for what they call an ancient weapon. It's kind of interesting to call it an ancient weapon when Tom is the one who drew the blueprints. So is it ancient because it's similar to an ancient weapon, or is it an ancient weapon because they have no other classification for what type of...
Tom didn't draw the blueprints, it was passed down to him. So they are like older.
He has
Yeah, he has the blueprints though.
Okay. So these blueprints he has, is it plutonium? Is that the name of or Pluton? Pluton is the name of this. It's essentially a huge, enormous warship that would have the capacity to destroy like entire cities. With its, I don't know, manpower, cannons, its authority, I don't know what exactly would be able, I guess if it had a capable person to handle the ship, it would just be like a giant menace. It'd be like a giant fortress of sorts. And a member of the CP5 group. Now, back in the earlier part of the arc, they mentioned that CP9 has a written authority to do, kill anybody who steps in their way, has all these special privileges, but they're an unknown group. This sort of goes into the backstory of C1 through C8's or CP8's existence in the world government as it was, I guess, being created, or I don't know, gives it more explanation, like it's how everybody sort of connects. So because the world government group, the CP5 group that came in, wasn't able to get the drawings, and they were just like, oh, what do you mean? It doesn't exist here, get out, nothing doing. They essentially devised a plan to trick everybody on the island that Tom and his crew were responsible for an ambush attack on the courts that would then delegate the abolishment of Tom's sentence originally from 10 years back, because they completed the sea train, which, for people who do not know what the sea train is, it is the rails specifically just lie under the ocean water, but they're malleable enough, I guess, or perhaps they float with the, I don't know what they're attached to as the base, but they float with the tide and the Aqua Laguna, so that they're not swept under like the other part of the city. So whatever it might be, whether high or low tide, the train can go anywhere, and so that pretty much saved commercial marketing for everybody. They got tricked, and Tom, Franky, and Iceberg ended up being, put to blame, but in Tom's heroic sense, with his pride as a worksman and taking care of the two boys, he took a majority of the blame for what had happened, so that they would be they're called, but like given a sentence for committing a crime they didn't commit. But what was interesting was, you saw growing up that Franky would always mess with stuff, but some of his battleships ended up causing a lot of deaths of other people because this stuff was being used, maliciously. So from that point on, Franky decided to no longer make ships. He just decided that he can dismantle them, do whatever he wants, but would never make a ship. So what happened to Tom was he was taken to, is it Enislavi?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so he was taken to this mysterious world government prison called Enislavi.
It's an island. It's not
It is
a
an
prison,
island.
but yeah.
Okay.
I should also mention that Tom does say something to Franky of because Franky's like, I should have never made those ships, and then Tom punches him, and it's like, don't say that. Those ships were made by your hands. They're your children. Don't you ever abandon them.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they were being used for evil, they're yours. What they're used for, and but you made them. You can't just abandon them. Which is you could read a lot into that of
You can, yeah.
okay, well, should people make weapons? Would they be to blame for how they're being used then? Which is that's a very controversial thing to talk about.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, sorry, continue. The sea train is taking Tom, which is ironic because he made the sea train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. So Franky tried stopping the train with all of the world government members, but he ended up being derailed from in front of the train, and he had to he was out to sea to die. Everybody thought he was dead for a long time, but he ended up finding an abandoned ship that he had parts laying around, and he ended up slowly but surely making himself a cyborg. Fixed himself up, and from then on, he and Iceberg had agreed to try to hide the blueprints, but at the same time, Franky had such a connection to the island that he never left, and he just assumed an identity as Franky, and then Iceberg was known as the only living proof of Tom's work, which is why all the events of the assassination attempt, the extortion, the blueprints, and all that happened.
Yeah. And then like Frankie's only a cyborg from the front because he couldn't reach his back.
Yes. Honestly, I don't. Thinking about that, I guess it reminded me of like that doctor that like took out his own. So I guess respect for Franky.
But then this also explains why like Yokozuna the frog also like keeps challenging the train because he's like he doesn't want anyone else he loves to be taken away because he was actually Tom's pet.
Yeah.
And this is also why that like train conductor lady is always smiling and drunk because she started like you see her in the background starting to drink right after Tom is taken away. And she was like crying before, but now she like only smiles because she's just constantly drunk and she became an alcoholic after all this. Just like, wow, that's also really depressing. It's just a really sad backstory.
It is, but it also, I don't know, I thought it was very well executed. So much necessary information to understand the plot.
Yeah.
Even going forward from now on, because it introduced like that government guy.
Yeah, and like I said, it like recontextualizes like what you think of these characters and like who they are.
Yeah.
Like the silly, stupid frog from the beginning that you totally forgot about, like came back and you're like, wait a second. It's actually a good frog. He's a good boy.
Frog.
I know. It connected so well.
I believed in him.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we take like a 5-minute break?
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that after sad backstory, we can take a small break, and then we'll be back for the rest of Water 7.
Yeah, and then we just have like the train part to cover.
Yeah, just the train part. Yeah.
We do.
Or like Aqua Laguna hitting, and then train part.
There's lots of theorizing that can take up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go on.
All right.
Alright, here be.
Back in a few minutes. Play the music.
All right.
Bye. Hello, we're back. We are back and ready to talk about the Train Boy next. After Franky's sad backstory. I think everybody has a sad backstory.
Yeah, pretty much. And then, well, first they have to like deal with the Aqua Laguna coming in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because first Franky and Usopp are like basically kidnapped by the CP. Because they're gonna take them on the train as well. So they're headed out there and.
Wait, do they take Usopp? I don't think they take Usopp.
Yeah, they take Usopp.
They do. There's a lot that's happening here. It's like Alabasta coming together, like that thing. Oh my god, there was so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just like, well,
it's all going down.
It's a Straw Hat. Let's take him too. Take him. Then I think yeah. Iceberg tells Nami like I feel like the most important part in this entire thing. Like that Robin told him that CP9 was going to call for a buster call, which was gonna battleships to destroy the Straw Hats. They were going to use it if Robin didn't help assassinate Iceberg and then execute. So in the end, everything that she was doing, all of her darkness, was to save her friends. Cry!
Cry.
Cry.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and so Nami is like, Chopper, you gotta hear this! That's what I remember anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile...
And then, like, Zoro and Luffy are kind of just like stuck in random places.
Zoro's stuck in a chimney. Luffy's stuck in a wall between walls, buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Sanji is actually over at the station. He's been following Robin, or he found her and started following her. Because yeah, this whole time I was like, "Where's Sanji? What's he doing?" Because he's in that thing where he's up. He does that with like every arc. It feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like right where he needs to be at the right moment.
Yes. He sees her getting on the train, then he sees Usopp and getting on the train, and he's like, "Wait, what?" And he decides to get on the train. He leaves like a that she finds later, and then a baby Denden Mushi. With Sanji later. And then now they're going to go, like, Chopper and Nami are trying to find Zoro and Luffy. Because they're just stuck, but eventually they find them, but it's like, it's super spooky. Like, I've actually seen this before, where, like, the tide goes back so far that you see, like, all of the, sand that you're not supposed to see, basically. And they have to, like, rush to go help Nami. No, sorry, Nami and Chopper have to rush to go help Zoro and Luffy get unstuck, basically. And they manage it in the end. Like, Nami gives Luffy motivation by being like, Robin didn't betray us. And I don't know. Something similar. Or no, he gives Chopper has his extra sword. Gets his extra sword and he's suddenly strong enough to break free. This is Zoro.
Yep. Each sword only adds to his power.
Yep.
And then the cursed sword just magnifies it.
Yeah. They manage to get to the bridge just in time, and Polly, rope guy, helps them not drown. But just before the Aqua Lagoon. Which, I don't know, I thought that was fun. It's also really realistic. I think, kind of a relatable thing, I think, for anyone that lives on an island, honestly, is like a high tide and then rushing. Yeah.
And then they need to find a way to get onto the train. And old lady Kokoro, the train conductor lady, is like, actually, we could use the prototype train. But the problem is it goes really fast and can't stop. And all the Franky family are like, let's go help too, because Franky also got taken. Let's team up. And the shipwrights who got left behind, like Polly and Tilestone and the other dude, I forget his name. They all like are also teaming up.
Yes, it was a runaway train called Rocket Man.
Rocket Man.
Yeah, and it looks like a shark.
Yeah.
And of
They
course,
also pack Luffy a ton of food.
yeah, they're so tired. Food and sake. Oh my god, I'm sorry I yelled at you.
Sorry, I yelled at you now.
Yeah, they're like, Nami, why are you so late? And it's like, I got food. Gosh.
Gosh. I was thinking ahead.
Yeah, you guys were just gonna go in without like bringing anything with you, unprepared.
I feel that. I always had like portable chargers with me. I have playing cards, and I have whatever. I'm like, if someone's gotta have it, it's gonna be me. Be the mom.
Gosh, yeah, and so everybody's team. Sanji is starting to go car by car and beat up everybody.
He's like on the caboose and he beats up Jerry.
Jerry.
There's just like this really tall dude who's like on the ceiling.
He was so lame.
Yeah, he was so lame. Like, he'll have to face the might of Jerry.
Jerry.
Which I love that Jerry was a lame name even in 2005.
Yes. God damn it, Jerry.
And gosh, Franky's Sanji's fighting. Oh yeah, they have like the Franky family attached like giant seahorses to the train too. There's like all sorts of stuff happening. Sanji finally finds like a Denden Mushi, a transponder. then he like tells Nami Sanji the situation because he at that point I think Sanji has found Franky and frees them, and then it's all good. But Usopp's like, Usopp and Sanji are like, we're not friends, even though they are friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Usopp.
Is this at the point where we meet the new character?
Yes, we meet the new character. What's the Sniper Man? Is that
Sniper King?
Sniper King.
Sniper King.
Okay. And he like wants to tell us his tragic backstory, but it's a little busy right now. Sniper King, you're gonna have to wait.
He's from Sniper Island, which lives on in your hearts, and he's Usopp's BFF, and it's definitely not just Usopp with a mask.
Yep.
Yes, 100 targets, 100 hits. Everybody sings his praises. Sniper Man.
He has a theme song in the anime. I'll show you guys later.
Great.
There was a funny scene back in the Rocket Man that I really liked. Chips, I thought you'd appreciate this. They were preparing to go up and go towards the first train, and Nami said "Oh, look, these are my new weapons. This is what Usopp made, called the Climattack." And then at the same time, at the next scene, they're like, "Oh, it's his posthumous work."
His last work.
And then they look so solemn, and Sanji's
Nami, and you're crying.
Zora's like, "No, don't look that way. Don't you dare."
Yeah. Yeah, because he's their friend.
Yeah, so...
he's gone now. He's Sniper.
Sniper Man remains.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought it was pretty impressive that Luffy was so strong. Blast a hole in a giant wave.
Yeah, and then all the other people are doing whatever they can, and then they just are move out of the way. Let us deal with this.
It's oh, okay.
Yeah.
It also makes me frightened. How powerful are CP? I am, but not a giant wave. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they did leave earlier, right? Because they had to leave early so that the Apple Lacuna wouldn't catch them.
Yes, that's true.
And then there's what's the name of that one super honorable Marine who's tearing off parts of his coat to give to his.
Oh my god!
It's what?
T-Bone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, T-Bone.
I was like, why is your name T-Bone?
Captain T-Bone. But then don't they just skip his car and then just cut off?
Yeah, they skip the car.
They just disconnect the car and just leave it behind, and he never gets to fight Sanji.
Yep. And he's just there, and he's rowing frantically back to the main train or whatever behind him. Rocket Man just plows through them.
Yeah. Oh, and the cars that got cut behind, Zoro just that's them straight in half.
Yeah.
That's people are all reacting while standing in the cars that have been cut in half while they fly.
Yeah, everyone's jaws dropped. Everyone.
Yeah.
Luffy's like, "Oh, can you cut it?" He's like, "Oh yeah, sure."
Sure.
And then everyone's like, "What? I didn't think you'd have to do it." And he's like, "He said to cut it, so I cut it."
Definitely can.
What do you want?
He's chopped down buildings.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Sanji has to fight the creepy ramen man. While Franky and Usopp go escape, I guess. They go to the top of the train.
No, Usopp's not there. Sniper King's there, though.
I'm sorry, Sniper King is
Yeah.
You're right. Oh gosh, I'm gonna forget. His memory is just so strong. Ramen King is gross. I don't like him.
He shoots ramen. Yeah, he's just ramen out of his nose. But it's a pretty good fight for Sanji because he gets to show off his chef skills.
It's true.
Because he's I normally kick so I don't have to dirty my hands or hurt my hands as a cook. But since I'm fighting food, I guess I can show off my chef skills. And he puts up chef knives and like cuts up all the noodles. And kicks the ramen dude's face so hard that he becomes plastic surgery.
Yeah,
Apparently.
plastic surgery. Yeah, he was cut up
Yeah.
so much that he's like a changed.
Yeah, but he's angry about it because he liked how ugly he looked before.
All right, well, sorry,
No.
dude. Sometimes we win some, we lose some. He's still alive, so.
Yeah.
While they're fighting, and Franky faces weird otter guy.
And Nero, he's like
Nero,
a
yeah.
CP9 trainee.
Yeah. He doesn't know all 6 of the cool, powerful moves. Like 4 of them.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
Yeah. And then it does show Franky's like weaknesses genuinely back that fight.
But he does Franky invincible, so he becomes invincible by
Just
laying
lays
down.
on the ground.
Yeah.
I think Nero was like, well, yeah, I guess so.
You're technically right. I can't take your back if you lay down.
He's like, I don't even know what to respond to this with.
Yeah. And
It's
then
funny.
Franky is like, have you heard of the mythical centaur? And his legs start extending. His legs like split in the middle, but it's like his front part, his front hips go forward to make 4 legs.
Like, but what is the point, though? Just 'cause
He is able to use the extra limbs to like pin down Nero, though.
Oh, right.
Beat him.
Sure.
Yeah, so Nero gets wrecked. And then Lucci, the like main CP9 guy, is like, yeah, you're useless to us. I'll give you 3 seconds to run. But he still like kills him and throws him into the ocean.
Yeah, so he. Meanwhile, Sniper King has used his cool octopi walk along the side of the train. Sniper King. And he's like, "What are you doing here? Go away!" Gosh.
But he's like, yeah, we heard about what you actually are doing this for. We know you're trying to sacrifice yourself. Have faith in us, at least.
So I'm not part of the Straw Hat Crew. I'm Sniper King.
Yeah.
So yeah, he tries to like stop her from going into the car, but she doesn't. And by that point, Sanji and Franky had like they're also in the CP9 car, all met up by that point. They try to get away, sort of. Knife King throws a smoke bomb, and they're all like, no one expected it because it's too lame, but they do get away. Like he like scoops up Robin and runs back.
Yeah, they disconnect the cars, but then
Yeah, Franky sacrifice. He's like, I'll stay behind. Okay.
yeah, but the stupid door fruit guy just like makes a door in the atmosphere.
Yeah, he just Doraemon. Yeah, so it didn't matter, so he grabbed Robin anyway.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes, but before she left, Sniper King, paraphrasing, essentially said, put your faith in Luffy, it's okay, like, whatever you're hiding, like, you know, be confident in the people around you. And so, her in her perplexed state just whiffs away, but wise words from the Sniper King.
Yeah, like you can believe. We're your friends.
Believe it!
Oh, nah.
Oh.
The MC
gosh.
Power Hour.
Yeah, and I think Franky says something nice too, that he's like, just so you know, I'm alive. No matter what he thinks or anyone thinks, like, it's okay to be alive. That's not a sin to be alive. Because she clearly hates herself. Which is sad.
Yeah, which is also like relatable to
Yeah.
a lot of people's experiences.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
self-loathing.
Yeah, it's like just her existing. People. That's
Yeah.
Apparently really.
And she's basically at the point where she's like, the only thing I am good for at this point is just dying for my friends. At least they can move on. Like, no, have faith in your friends. Stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Self-harm is bad, people.
Yes.
Do not do it.
Harm's bad. That's and I think.
And that's pretty much it. And then, basically, Luffy and they do arrive at Annie's lobby, or the CP9 people arrive at Annie's lobby, basically. And Luffy and the Straw Hats are like right behind.
They're right behind.
Getting ready.
I think Yokozuna joins the party.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Frogman.
He's like kind of on the train too, so they like pick up everyone. They just have like a whole gang of like random mishmash people.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a whole band of misfits are all going to try to save Franky and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's okay because he's with Sanji, but yeah, I guess that's literally the end. Because the last thing I saw was, or I remember reading, separation, seeing Annie's lobby come to fight. Yeah, I think that was the last thing. Oh god, and it's like, this is where we're ending, so yeah, I do get what you meant, Toto, and you were like, you're gonna want to keep reading.
Yeah, because it's not fulfilling. It's like, it's a cliffhanger. It's like, will they save Robin? What's gonna happen?
It is it's a pretty good one, too. Like, it's very compelling.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Like, the whole crew has, like, broken up. They lost their ship. They lost Usopp. They lost Robin.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, again, like, there was, like, a few, several even references to like Skypiea, so I don't understand Skypiea. Anyway.
Yeah, like Skypiea is, I don't think where they introduce the poneglyphs, but kind of like where you get more into like what the poneglyphs are.
Yeah. Yeah, and like the
and yeah.
Spirit. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, definitely, like, the damage to the keel of the ship was definitely because they dropped out of, like, the sky, like, and so much happened in Skypiea, like, it shot up into the air. It's kind of crazy that it didn't just break on the altar back in Skypiea, because Cloud Batterman came and fixed it.
Mm-hmm. I know, it was so wholesome.
Yeah.
And tragic. But
yeah, it's yeah.
I guess we can do our Star Slug ratings, and then what do you think will happen next?
Okay. Star rating, I would give it. See, I think it was, to me, it was a little better than Alabasta, which is slightly below Skypiea.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure. I don't remember my ratings, but what seems to come to me is an 8.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was great. Fits the fast pace, fits the little bit of tidbits here and there, and didn't make you confused. Sure, a lot happened, but like I was able to remember a large majority of it. So, and I would do 8.5 for a slug rating. Not to be finicky, but I thought it was just I thought it was really cool. Some of the, you can tell like some of the elements from the other arcs were just like implanted like here and there, and when there's, you know, potential people coming that the Straw Hats like or who want to join their crew or anything like that, I find that very cool. So I like development, and also leads perfectly into the next arc, so I give it props for just being very consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I totally feel that.
My star rating is 9. That made me cry, but no. No, I mean, honestly, I think that sort of thing is just something that I just don't like to read, but it's like, obviously I understand when things are necessary to read, but I don't know. I have to see what happens with Lobby River. Like, second place favorite, I think, right now. And I think, I don't know, for Slug rating, I don't know, it's probably like a 9 too, because I think that you should probably read this if you're gonna read One Piece, because it seems pretty important. A lot of new characters that like have weight, they have like backstories and weight and stuff like that, are introduced. It's paced really well. A lot of the concepts that are introduced are very important. Luton, and honestly, the train is really cool. Overall, really good. I think 9s are all around.
Yeah, I think I would also say 9 for my star rating, like my personal rating. And 10 for Slug rating, because I know where this is leading, and you can't really get like where it's leading to without reading this, because it's like this and Annie's Lobby arc are pretty tied together, so it's like such a weird place for us to split. But it's like also it's too much to read if we read the whole saga. But yeah. And next time we're gonna do Annie's Lobby and post Annie's Lobby, which is like the best named arc, post Annie's Lobby.
Yeah, whatever is gonna happen in Annie's Lobby is enough where the post. So, I'm scared.
Yeah. What do you guys think is gonna happen?
Well, considering this is the hypothetical or figurative center of like the world government, I'm gonna say there's gonna be a lot of fighting. They did mention that like there is a different area for like torturing, interrogation, the worst of the worst prisoners, and then there's the place for like established like personnel. And considering all of that, I think there's just gonna be like nonstop battles. And considering these are shonen characters, I'm gonna say there's probably gonna be a lot of development for each of them. Maybe not like equally so, but I think there's gonna be something. There's gonna be enough of a stoppage for each character where they're just like, oh, maybe I really need to do this instead. Looks good.
All right, thank you all very much for joining today for the discussion. We will be discussing the last third of Solo Leveling the week of March 6th. It won't be on the 7th. I'll let you know the day in probably later tonight. Both on the Discord and on YouTube announcement area.
yeah. And if you're hanging out here and want to join like immediately after, it's 123 to 179. Yeah. Don't mind if you see something that says side stories. Don't worry about that just yet. I mean, if you want to read it, go read it. But like, that's not what we're doing here.
Okay. Good. And then we'll be reading Annie's Lobby and post Annie's Lobby, and talking about it on March 21st.
Don't forget your buckets.
Oh yeah, get the buckets ready.
Buckets, Nick Cage, and Rocket Man.
Yeah. Rocket Man.
In that order.